So I want to just record a quick video going over a basic version of how a proper ad strategy has to look, right? How you set up your ads on Facebook basically differentiates between whether your campaign will or will not work, right? No matter how good your offer is, no matter how good your creatives are, if you're not doing testing and if you're not sort of trying to do a lot of different things, your chances of succeeding are close to zero. So right here, you can see basically a flow chart of how a normal advertising campaign works, right? So this is how normally you're supposed to run a campaign. So you have a campaign. Then usually what people will do is they'll have a broad ad set and an interest ad set. So in this situation, it's what we call an ABO campaign. So this is an ad set budget or ad set budget optimization, right? Meaning we're optimizing at the ad set level in terms for budgeting. So I could say, right, that here, this ad set gets $10 per day, right? And then this ad set gets $10 per day. And they will both get equal amounts of ad spend. And that's how you'll do it. And then the idea here is that, let's say, this one works, and then you take this one and you start split testing with that one. Now, that's great, right? And it's cute, but it's not going to get you very far because you're going to have to do 50 generations of tests before you really know any real data, right? The problem with this is also, if your interest targeting does work, right? You put 10 or 15 interests here, you'll never know which one of those interests is the one that's actually working, right? And you might be thinking, well, what if I just make a bunch of assets with a bunch of interests? Would an ABO campaign that would require you to have a massive budget because you obviously want to give them an equal chance? So it just wouldn't work. Now, in this situation, you're testing a total of 4 adverts. Reason being is because you obviously have two ad sets with 2 ads in each ad set. So 2 times 2 is 4. So this is cute. Now this is how our campaign look. And now this is actually a simplified version of how we launch campaigns. And I mean, in comparison to this one and this one, I'm sure you can see that there's quite a bit of a difference. Now, it's actually not as complex as it looks though, right? It's not that complex at all actually. So let's just zoom in. So at the very start, we have our campaign. This is the better way to advertise on Facebook. You have the campaign. Then you have the broad targeting ad set. And then you have the interest one ad set. And what this is it's an ad set with just one interest, nothing else, just one interest, right? You still have your location and your demographic, but you only have one interest. Then you go to interest 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6. You get the point, right? We go all the way to 10 because we like to test with at least 10 different ad sets, 10 different interests on one thing in addition to just broad, right? Now, once you do that, you can also see that right here somewhere, I wrote advantage plus campaign optimization. That is not how you spell optimization, but whatever. So advantage plus, or CBO, it's sort of used interchangeably, is a new Facebook technology which allows you to put a budget on the campaign rather than the ad set, right? So here you see, I put the budget as an ABO campaign, ad set budget optimization. That is CBO, so that's campaign budget optimization. Now the beauty of this, right, and a lot of advertisers do not like this feature because they think that, Facebook is trying to automate what they do. But in reality, Facebook's just trying to help you, right? What a CBO will help you do is basically optimize only the ad sets that are doing the best, right? And push the most money to them so you don't have to sit there at your computer and keep optimizing. The beauty of this is, though, that even if you have a small budget, like $10, $20 per day, you're still going to be able to use $10 to $20 per day, but test this many ads, which is not possible on any other platform, whatsoever, right? So that's basically the concept of what we're doing here. Now notice how I put one ad, but I also here put two ads. Now that is intentional because we're testing one singular ad, meaning on the Facebook business like structure, right? You go to campaign, then ad set, and then ad. We're only using one ad, but we're using this thing called dynamic creative on Facebook to actually upload several creatives to every single ad. So what we're doing is we're uploading 10 different creatives, 10 different bodies of copy, 10 different headlines, and 10 different descriptions. Now, I didn't want to spend 5 hours making this chart, but in reality, you see how here, we dragged this body of creatives to each ad? That's how it is in reality. So in reality, you're getting 10 pieces of copy just on this creative, just on that creative, just on this creative, just on this creative, right? It's not actually just like all one thing, right? Meaning here, we have 10 creatives, 10 pieces of copy. That's actually 100 ads because 10 times 10 is 100, right? I just didn't do the little funnel shape because that would take hours because of how big this structure is. But for those of you who don't know, dynamic creative is another really useful Facebook technology which allows you to basically put in a bunch of different ad parameters, like creative, headline, copy, and then test every single version with itself. So Facebook it'll do the test, creative 1, copy 1, headline 1, description 1. Then it'll do creative 1, copy 1, headline 1, description 2. Then it'll do creative 1, copy 1, headline 1, description 3. And it'll go through literally every single possible variant, and it'll find the absolute best combination, which is performing at the absolute best rate, right? This is the equivalent of you doing years worth of optimization, just like that, automated by Facebook, right? And when you do this, these numbers are obviously arbitrary, right? You could do 3 pieces of creative, you could do 5, you could do 20, you could do 100. It doesn't matter. Personally, in our agency, Air Cool Marketing, this is what we like to do. We like to give it 10 different options for everything. And when I say 10 different pieces of creative, I don't mean 10 different offers. That's not what I mean. I mean 10 different pictures for the same thing. You're just displaying it differently. It's not 10 different offers. Never run different offers in the same ad set. So you do this, and if you basically do the math, you end up testing 110,000 different adverts. Now, I'm not a professor in math, but in comparison to 4 to, 110,000, you're testing around 25,000 times more, right? And that's obviously a lot, because now you're 25,000 times more likely to succeed. Now, I know what you're thinking. This probably takes hours to set up. It does. Straight up. I won't even lie. This takes hours to set up. And our media buyer, right, will literally take a whole day to set up a client's campaign. Because once we set this up, right, we're basically guaranteed about to get results because of how many different angles we're testing, and no other agency on the face of the earth can test this many angles this quickly under one campaign. So that's basically how you get super cheap CPLs and test literally hundreds of thousands of different offers at the same time. Sorry, not offers, adverts at the same exact time. But anyways, if you enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment. I like to check those. So, and if you do, I'll make more of these videos. Thanks for watching.